Hello garden lovers. I know the garden lovers thing is cutting through because my landscapers this week on site took the piss out of me. So, well, I'm glad you're watching, chaps. Yeah, it's obviously cutting through. The Hello Garden Lovers is a truly memorable opening line to a YouTube channel. And yeah, keep watching, you might learn something. We're on site actually laying out some beautiful trees. I've got to say thank you to Deep Dell Nurseries. Nothing better than placing some beautiful multi-stem trees. That's when a build turns into a garden, when plants are on site. Really looking good. And so it's a very busy time of year for me, designing, filming, gardening, but of course I just want to be here doing my own garden. And that's the thing, everything comes at once. It's spring and summer, and that's why I have to look back at how far I've come in a year, considering we weren't in the house for 6 months of the year. I have to just keep looking back and thinking, yeah, this autumn and winter I'm going to move it on. I've missed some windows. I wanted to get some trees in. It's not going to happen. Next couple of weeks looks really hot. I'm away a lot. I don't want to start planting into May and June. It's just really not a good idea, so I'm going to have to wait till the autumn. But anyway, on the positive side, we have done a lot. Craig and Justin have finished all the hard landscaping. Look at these Camasias. These have all come out again. So those of you who've been watching for a year, and the Bluebell wood is just looking better and better every day. It really is. But I don't want to start in the Bluebell wood because I always start in the Bluebell wood. Now, speaking of multi-stemmed trees, there is one tree in this garden which is going to go. Can you guess what it is? No clues, but it sort of doesn't work with everything else. It's a maple. I don't think it's bloodgood. There's one called bloodgood that everyone grows, which is the red maple. Yeah, it goes more intense in the winter, but it just stands out like a sore thumb. It really does. When you see it from the house as well, it's just so demanding on the eye that it's going to go. I offered it to Craig, a landscaper, but he was so busy doing all the paving that we didn't have time to dig it up with the digger. And it does need a digger or some serious muscle power to take it out. I'm not going to do anything really drastic with it. I'm going to leave it probably again till the autumn. Autumn, winter, when it's completely dormant, dropped its leaves, temperatures have dropped, that's the time to move it. It's really healthy, it loves the soil, loves the moisture in the soil, but you've got to be absolutely cutthroat. If something doesn't work or it's going to get on your nerves for the rest of your life, just don't hang about. You've got to take it out. And that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah. So let's just run over the paving. Craig and Justin have finished the paving, and thank you to Frank, who helped them as well. So there's this large expanse of this crazy paving here. So now that curve, again, it's always working with the view beyond, really. And you can see these these hornbeam domes, sort of, whatever we call them. Someone called them tumps. Maybe tumps is good. It's a bit close to trump for my liking, the word tump. And then there's this ellipse that has all been finished. And it's really weird when you look at it in plan view. It's not normally the sort of design I would come up with, but actually on the ground it reads so much differently. The ellipse, it works really nicely sitting in there. As I said, that wall's going to come up another course. There's lots of planting opportunities around it. I put some Deschampsia in as a grass, and then through here there'll just be, I don't know, something to break it up. Something small and easy to walk over, maybe some thyme or something. And here I've been planting away, but over here I have to take that into that area. So when I plant any trees or grasses, I'm going to take them right across so that the ellipse feels nestled in amongst the planting. That stick I've placed there is because I need shade. and it's a very sunny spot because we pushed the ellipse out a little bit from the house, so you can see my shadow. If I was 4 meters tall at this time of day, would cast a really lovely dapple shade onto this paving. Probably something multi-stemmed, dapple shade beneath, and then, as you know, there's going to be a tree there, there's a tree over there, and there's another one probably going there. So I'm now thinking, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I also need another one. You know, we've got to go odd numbers here. So there would be another tree, but I might take it right out there. And then you're creating this sort of like a mini woodland, I guess. It'll be very stylized, obviously, but it'll read like a landscape rather than a garden, because I'm repeating those trees throughout rather than having 5 different trees. And when they flower and they come into autumn colour, you're sort of thinking large brush strokes. I'll go right back into here as well, because this is a nice view. Right back here. There's also a fabulous rose behind me here. Rosa Banksia lutea, and I inherited it. It's just coming into flower. Lovely yellow flowers. I love the flowers. Absolutely covered. There's a wood pigeon nesting in there as well, and we sort of eyeball each other through that window every now and then. But I think we have an understanding that I'm not going to go anywhere near it. It's nesting, and it's a very beautiful bird. I've got to say, there's incredible bird life in this garden. And this lovely path, which is now finished. It is fading a little bit, and I've got some sand, like I said before, I can put some sand over it. It's still a bit golden orange for me, but pretty much all this hard landscaping is now done. So thank you, Justin and Craig. You've done an incredible job. You really bashed it out. It was a lot of work for a week. And now I can get on to planting. But as I say, I've sort of it's a bit sporadic, the planting. I've put in another one of those hornbeam tumps here, and I've still got quite a few plants knocking around. But I am cracking on. I'm doing an hour or two every now and then in the evenings, and when I get back, I've been all over the country this week and get back quite exhausted. And gardening is a wonderful, release for me. And as we all know, it's so good for your mental health and to release stress and all that stuff. And there's no doubt it works. It's just when you're really tired physically, it's sometimes a little bit hard to engage. And I like to really, I want to do a few more whole full days to really bang it out. And at the moment, I'm sort of sporadically planting, not how I would normally plant on a job, but just trying to move the garden on a little bit with the plants that I've got. And then I've also got quite a lot of plants here that I healed in. This is do you remember the bay that I pruned up last year? That was a massive blob, and now we're just getting some of this growth from the bottom, which I could clean up. But actually I visited a garden last week where they just decided to leave it on quite a few of lime trees. It was like a lime tree avenue, and they left it, and it doesn't upset me. I actually quite like it. Oh yeah, there's a load of irrigation pipes going in. We're getting around to the messy part of the garden at the moment. Like I say, I can't do everything all at once, but this is where I healed in a lot of plants last year. I've been lifting them, dotting them in, dividing them up, using them as much as possible. But there will still be some probably that will be left in for this year. Depends if I can get a few days to really, but we're missing the window, so they're better off being left. I mean, look at these miscanthus grasses. Look at those, they're gorgeous. There was a massive clump, a huge clump that I split, and I've got 3 really nice big plants. I've got some rosemary there. Do you remember the grapevine that I dug up? That's still there, doing really well. There's clematis with nothing to grow over. I've got some geraniums there. There's the agapanthus coming through. I've got roses that I moved, and I've still got quite a few. In fact, I've got, I don't know, maybe a couple of hundred of these hornbeams as well, which I'm going to add in over the next couple of weeks. A couple more tumps. I do like the word tump. The apple trees are looking great. and I haven't pruned them at all, just left them lovely in flower through this part of the garden with the magnolia. I took a couple of apple trees out. Yeah, but it's because I've got so many of them, and they were spur pruned, and then Tom Hoblin, the garden designer, came along and said leave them, just leave them. But I might do a little bit of drastic pruning on them, but I'm not going to do what we call finicky pruning every year. I'm just going to make, it's going to make a rod for my own back, frankly, so I'm not going to do that at all. Down towards the end of the garden, which is yeah, a bit of rabbity. This is where the rabbits hang out. I haven't managed to tackle any of this whatsoever, but it doesn't really matter. I think people get really hung up on, you know, having to do it all, and oh, you've got a 1.5 acre garden, you know, nearly 2 acres, and you're doing it all yourself. And well, around the edges, you know, I was talking to James Alexander Sinclair the other day, my friend. Scruffy edges. We all like scruffy edges, great for wildlife, just let it go. And yeah, the granddaughter's swing. She was here last week. Oh look, we're doing the grand tour now. Bluebells. The bluebells. This camera doesn't really pick them up unless you get really down low. Oh wow. Right, you know what, I'm going to turn the camera around now so we can capture some of this, and I might actually go back and do a bit of gardening, divide up some grasses. Oh. We're going to have a cup of tea in here this afternoon. It's just magical. It really is. I'm going to keep going around the back of here. This isn't a pond, it's a dew pond. So basically fills up in the winter and dries out in the summer. And these are flag iris, and I've got to make that bench. My son came down last weekend, he's pretty handy, and I bought a circular saw, and yeah, I'm doing a couple of things inside the house, but he's given me a lot of confidence to sort of get back onto the basic carpentry and make a nice bench out of the big cedar that the tree surgeons sliced up into really, really nice planks. Oh, wow. Wow. Look at that. Let's stop talking now. Just got to soak it up with the bird. Well, I hope the mic picks it up. What a wonderful bird song. I'm going to tread lightly through here. And again, look at that. There's that red acer. If anything was more incongruous in a garden than that, I don't know what is really. It just doesn't work. Right. Well, it's time to learn something. A modular landscaper, if you're watching, I hope you might learn something too. Not just what a good catchphrase, you know, welcome garden lovers is. Okay, so dividing grasses. This big Molinia, this is Molinia transparent. I'm pretty sure it's transparent. It was one of the only grasses in the garden when I got here. And they were placed in a line, 3 of them, in a straight line. In the autumn, the foliage is really fabulous, sort of orangey yellow. And then it's called transparent because the flowers and the seed heads get up to maybe 1.5, 2 meters tall, but you can see through them. So they create a lovely sort of veiled view. So I put one in front of the window by the house and then dotted them around. They're quite good in the foreground because you can see through them, and they're just very, very natural. And you know, when they catch droplets of water in the seed heads, they're just magical as well, especially when the light comes through them in the morning or the late evening. Absolutely beautiful. So I dug 3 of them up, I healed them in over there, and now I've lifted 2 of them and I've actually chopped them up into 3 each and dotted them around a little bit. And I was thinking with this last one, I might just leave it as one nice big clump, because it's nice to play around with sizes as well of plants rather than having everything uniform size throughout. But what I'm going to do is actually divide it up, but then plant it as one big clump, because now I've got it out of the ground, it's a really good time to divide it up anyway. And grasses and perennials like to be divided because it reinvigorates them. Otherwise you can end up over the years with a sort of dead clump, dead bit in the middle, and it grows around the outside. So while I'm here, I may as well do that. And plus, you know, I will get a bigger clump of them in the long run as well. Now, tools for the job. You could use an old kitchen knife, serrated bread knife or something like that. Perfect for slightly smaller grasses, perennials, things like that. Here I'm going for this. Now this tool is technically called a knackered old saw. It's one of my favourites. It's a very good tool for lots of gardening jobs. It's nice and rusty, and so I don't care about it at all. But for something like this, absolutely ideal. You could just try and chop through it with a spade, and I do that with a lot of grasses and perennials, but when it's got this much growth on the top, you know, imagine attacking that with a spade, you're actually going to damage quite a lot of the foliage. And even though it'll grow back, it'll be absolutely fine in the long run. For this season, it's, you know, might take a little bit to recover and look a bit sad for a little bit. We don't want that, do we? So I'm just going to go in. I think I'm going to probably divide this into 3. 3 would be good. So I'm making a parting here. Oh, those were the days. And just literally sawing right down through the middle. It's a little bit late in the day this year to be dividing grasses, but it'll be absolutely fine. Got a dry spell coming up, I'll just keep it watered. Getting there, it is getting there. This is what I like about YouTube, because on terrestrial telly, we'd have to chop all this down to like 10 seconds. Chop, 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 chop. But YouTube lets it breathe, doesn't it? It lets the whole thing, it means that you can sort of show really in real time what's to be done, and viewers can actually fall asleep and then wake up and go, oh, he's finally got through that grass. Look at that, it wasn't too bad, was it? Slow TV, I think they call it. So there you go, look at that, beautiful. Got one there. I wouldn't clean that up around the edges, because actually there's some good roots around the edges, good feeding roots. And then this one we'll just divide into 2 again, and they don't have to be absolutely perfect. They're all going to grow into one big clump. Oh, it's quite nice to see it from around here. I'll show you. See that? So I'm basically just going in there. I can do it from this side. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, multitasking here. And you can see lots of lovely little new shoots coming through. And the whole root ball's nice and moist. Listen to that. I hope you heard that crunch. I love the sound of crunching
plants being divided up. It's one of my favourites. So there you go. And actually you can see it's got a lot of clay on the bottom of that as well. So they're good in clay. Now I'm going to have a pathway running around the back here, and I'm just going to plant them one, maybe, I don't know, 30, 40 centimetres apart, so they grow into one big clump. I'll tell you what, I'll reposition the camera and make a real effort at this. Look at that, and as if by magic, the whole shot, the cameraman has now gone to a wide shot, and so he can show you what's going on here. Right, so I know that I'm creating a clump in this area. Let's just dig a hole and chuck them in, really. The soil's pretty good here. Yeah, the soil is really, it's good enough. I'm not going to condition it actually, it's so good. But I'll probably just put some pelleted chicken manure around and give them a little bit of a sprinkle after. A bit of a nitrogen fix as they come into growth. So we're aiming to, it's one of those slow planes. So we're aiming to finish this planting at exactly the same level it was when it was dug up. Definitely no shallower with the grass. You could go a little bit deeper and it'll just fill out, but ideally you're sort of aiming for how it was originally. So if you're growing one from a pot, that's your finished level, and you can always lay a stick or something across it like that. Blimey, you're really learning a lot today. You lay a stick across it like that to make sure you've got the right level, and it's worth playing around with it. You know, dig it down a little bit more or backfill a little bit more, and then people overtread their plants. You know, they go stomp, 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 stomp. This is why I hope our landscapers are listening, because it's just a light tread. Most of my weight is on the left foot, and I'm just adding a little bit of weight just to get the air bubbles, just to get the air out of the soil, and to make sure that the roots are in contact with the soil. And I'll give it a really good water in after as well, because again, that makes sure that the soil and the roots are in contact. There's no air, so the roots can't dry out, and it'll grow away nicely. So spacing wise, I think I'm going to go for one, yeah. What's that? About 40 centimetres? 40 centimetre centres in a triangle. And this is a constant editing of gardening, dividing, you know, grasses, perennials, moving them around, filling gaps, and it gives a lovely continuity to the garden as well, using the same plants in quantity and abundance. And if you run out of space with all your plants, you can just give them to friends, which is always nice. But I'm not nearly at that stage yet. I've got so much space to fill up that for the next few years I'm going to keep them all myself, or find new beds to put them in. Perfect. Light tread. I could do this all day long. Love it. Just chopped a little bit off the edge there. Bit of old dead root. I was sharpening up my spades earlier with a sharpening stone because a lot of people don't have their spade sharp enough. If you have a really nice sharp spade, I mean talking seriously sharp, sharp as you can get it, it just cuts through the soil so much easier, use less energy, makes it more pleasurable. And much faster as well. So there you go, these have actually come back to very close where I first met them in this garden, just a few metres away, but in a different form. And they're going to restart their whole new life in this new garden. Well, it's not a new garden. In this reinvented, repurposed, recycled, all those fashionable words. To me, it's just gardening. And I love it. I love it. There we go, just level that off a little bit. A few lumps of clay, break them up. They'll break down in no time, and then water them in. Job done.